I'm Jason UFC, and today we have a story about Michael Bisping explains why he believes Colby Covington could earn a fourth UFC welterweight title shot in short order. If you want to become the man, you gotta beat the man. Michael Bisping believes Colby Covington could be only one win from a fourth UFC title shot if he plays his cards right. Colby Covington is coming off of a unanimous decision loss to undisputed welterweight champion Leon Edwards at UFC 296. That setback marked the third time in Colby Covington career that he has come up short in his quest to become the UFC undisputed welterweight champion. He was crowned the welterweight champion. I believe it was a victory over RDA, the welterweight interim champion, but he's never become undisputed. While it would appear that Colby Covington is very far away from a fourth crack at an undisputed welterweight championship, former UFC middleweight champion Michael Bisping believes that Covington can put himself right back in the title picture with one win over Shavkat Rakhmonov. Shavkat Rakhmonov, who is 18-0 in his MMA career, 6-0 in his UFC career, scoring finishes in all of his fights, not just in a 6-0 in a UFC record. He's 18-0. All of his fights have ended in a submission, a TKO, a KO. Finishes in 18 of his victories. His last victory was a submission victory over Wonderboy Thompson. Blah, blah, blah. Michael Bisping believes Covington could punch his ticket to another crack at the UFC title with a victory over Rakhmonov. This is what Bisping says. If they were to make this fight, Rakhmonov versus Colby Covington, there's a big opportunity there. Now listen, Covington has had his title shots, okay, and I don't think he's going to get another one, but this will blow your mind. If Covington defeats Shavkat Rakhmonov, I'm not saying he gets another title shot, but if he beats Shavkat Rakhmonov, there's an argument there. I'm not saying I agree with it, but if Covington was to defeat Shavkat Rakhmonov, guess what? All of a sudden, Covington are back in the discussion, right? Covington would be, if you want to become the man, you gotta beat the man. We have to come back to that statement right there, right? Because that's a kind of interesting statement. Let me see. But would Covington defeat Shavkat Rakhmonov? I very much doubt it. This is what Bisping says. Now, here's the real question for Colby Covington. If this fight takes place, does he still have it? Does the fire still burn in Colby Covington? Okay, so listen, I'm a MMA casual, so I don't follow everything in the sport. But the first thing I would say with this statement is when Michael Bisping says, if you want to become the man, you got to beat the man. Now, in my humble MMA casual opinion, I would say the man would have to be Kamaru Usman, right? Currently in the UFC welterweight division, right? Like, he does have a victory. He was the last person to have a victory over the current champion, Leon Edwards, even though he lost. Kamaru Usman lost 2 straight fights versus Leon Edwards. But for Shavkat Rakhmonov, if he wants to become the man, like if you're saying if you want to become the man, you got to beat the man. Shavkat Rakhmonov's last victory was over Wonderboy Thompson, right? And so whereas Kamaru Usman's last victory was over Colby Covington. So, who's the man? I would say it would have to be Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman is still ranked, I believe, #1 in the UFC welterweight division. I believe the next fight will be Leon Edwards versus Belal Muhammad. So if Shavkat Rakhmonov wants to be the man, and if he's not going to take the fight versus Colby Covington next, he would, in my opinion, Shavkat Rakhmonov should be the person to step up and fight someone like Kamaru Usman. And as far as Colby Covington goes, I mean, not a lot of opportunities for 4 different title shots. I believe maybe Holly Holm is the only other UFC fighter that I could think of that's had that many title shots and lost. I believe she's lost 3. Like I said, Colby Covington was the interim champion, the welterweight champion, with a victory over RDA, but I believe they stripped him. Like it wasn't like he was unifying the belt versus Kamaru Usman. I believe they just stripped Colby Covington after, so he never even had the opportunity to unify the belt, but he did lose 2 times to Kamaru Usman. Another thing I would say about Colby Chaos Covington is that, he's not the most active fighter. He only fought once last year. The year before that, he fought once. His last victory was over Jorge Masvidal. Jorge Masvidal has since retired. The last victory before that versus Robbie Lawler. Robbie Lawler has now since retired. And then the fight before that, his last victory before that, Colby Chaos Covington, last victory before that was versus Tyron Woodley. Right? The UFC welterweight division is my favorite division. I feel like that's the most stacked division, but I'm a casual, so what the hell do I know? But, in my opinion, Colby Chaos Covington, a victory over Shavkat Rakhmonov, that would be great. It should put him in title contention, but he should also have to, I don't think Colby Covington would get a victory over Shavkat Rakhmonov and then jump immediately over Kamaru Usman. I think a victory over maybe a Wonder Boy, maybe a Vicente Luque, a Sean Brady, Jeff Neal, I guess. There's a lot of welterweights out there. Jack Della. Who else? Machado Gatti. So there's a lot of welterweights out there that I think Colby Covington has to get at least 2 victories against some of these top 10 opponents. I don't think a victory just over Shavkat Rakhmonov would put him right back into fighting Leon Edwards after the performance he just had. I know Colby Covington just came out recently. He said he had like a broken foot, which happened, I guess, a few months ago. So I don't even think the next fight with Colby Covington will be versus Shavkat Rakhmonov. I think Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Kamaru Usman, something like that probably will be next. Colby Covington versus Machado Gary, right? I think that probably fight is going to happen more likely. Or Colby Covington versus Wonder Boy. I don't really see Colby Covington taking the Shavkat Rakhmonov fight next. But listen, I'm an MMA casual, so what the hell do I know? Let me know your opinion of this story. I'm Jason, UFC. Today we had a story about Michael Bisping explains why he believes Colby Covington could earn a 4th UFC title shot with a victory over Shavkat Rakhmonov. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the $1 donation button, and please tune in to the next video on this channel. Thanks a million for watching.